Brightest blessings, everyone. Psychic medium Elizabeth Grove, the Paranormal Priestess. Welcome to the Paranormal Priestess YouTube channel, and thank you for joining me today. If you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Elizabeth. I am a medium, divine channeler, remote spirit extractor, white witch, and divine alchemist, and I also happen to be a divine twin flame on the path to reunion. I hope everyone is doing well out there. I know we're going through some intense shifts, and we're having more of it come our way. This video is going to be focusing on the Divine Masculine Collective. I haven't done a video on the Divine Masculines for some time, but I do all my videos according to my guidance, and I just had a conversation with Archangel Michael regarding the Twin Flame Divine Masculine Collective and what's happening there. And it's really important to share this. I know a lot of feminine do watch these videos, but there are masculines that watch it as well. So I hope that this is going to help clarify some things that are happening, maybe put you more at ease, have you understand that things are going in the right direction. You are more than welcome to leave comments, positive comments down below. Any negative comments, sarcastic comments, mean comments, anything like that, don't bother. It's going to be gone. Absolutely gone. There's only going to be light and love and positivity on my channel, so I just want to make sure that that's known. And let's get into this. So we're having the solstice, summer solstice, Litha, midsummer energies here in the northern hemisphere. We're having this come in tomorrow, happens to fall on Father's Day. And with this type of energy, this is going to be solar energy, of course. This is going to be masculine energy. We also happen to have a Jupiter in retro beginning. And that's going to be retrograde until October 18th. So, of course, we still have the Mercury retrograde we're finishing up. The actual Saturn one is going to be finishing up the same time as the Jupiter retro in October. So we have a lot of going back, So let's talk about some of what's happening for the Divine Masculine Collective, because there's a lot going on. And I do tend to read the Divine Feminine a lot on the Twin Flame journey. And, you know, there is a lot of concern as to what's happening, what's not happening, what seems like it could be not possible. Maybe I should just move on, get a soulmate. Maybe this whole thing has not been true, and so on and so forth. So we are at this really amazing time for those on the Ascension journey and Twin Flame journey, because there is a ton of energy that's accelerating everything forward. As we know from the Ascension symptoms that we've been having, we're having a lot of the gut energy going into there, into the sacral as well. A lot of emotions coming up. So we have those pains in those areas where those emotions are trying to make themselves known, to be basically surfaced and released, healed, all of that. There's been so many emotions being purged out because of these areas, and you know what we have not addressed. So in terms of the Divine Masculines, we want to focus on them. I got really a strong indication from Archangel Michael through the lion symbol that he gave me, and from what he spoke about with me, that the Divine Masculines were getting a very huge push with their awakening process. So I know for the most part, a lot of the feminines have, woken up to this and have been doing the work proactively. There's also men out there who are more in their feminine energy who have been doing the work and being proactive. But there has been a lot of this questioning as to what's happening, what karmic contracts, and where does this leave us, and where does this lead us? So let's talk about where it's leading the Divine Masculines. The Divine Masculines are having so many emotions come up from them. As I said, emotional stuff is coming up from the masculines and the feminines. The emotions are a lot of what Michael was saying buried memories, buried emotions, repressed stuff coming up to the surface. For you, feminine, you are experiencing a lot of that emptying out, purging as well, but you will be experiencing also a lot of the impact from your masculine, and you may not know it. So if you have angers out of nowhere, if you have a lot of grief, some of it may be yours. There might be times where it's really not, and it's coming from the other end. They are in a very vulnerable state right now, the masculines. They are having so much truth come to the surface. Truth is coming up to the surface really, really strongly right now. The solstice is bringing in, shining the light of truth. This is what's true. This is what's it. Dispelling the illusions and allowing someone to really see themselves more clearly and understand that this is really what the focus is now for their lives. They're understanding more and more, but there is a very confused state right now that the masculines are in. And what masculines are doing right now they're really going into introspection. And Michael was talking about this, really deep reflection, introspection about their lives. So we go through a lot of what I call these crossroad times, these transitional times, and they're so necessary. We can also, just to note, we can have more than one dark night of the soul. We can have several dark nights of the soul. Anytime that we go through this, it is always when things are breaking down, sometimes very abruptly in our lives, and we have to try to figure out what's happening amongst all the chaos and all of the confusion, what's truth versus illusion. This is where the solstice energy, this beautiful, strong solar light coming through the stargate of our sun, it's going to shine the light on truth. This is what to pay attention to. This is what's actually true. This is what is illusion. This is what's not been serving. This is what's been limiting or possibly harming you as well. And this is leaving. So the masculines have been having to deal with, okay, everything that I was thinking I knew about my life, everything I was so sure about that I had under control, is now not working out. I'm not connecting to it. Things are going wrong with it. I'm feeling very differently. I'm feeling very disconnected to such and such. Feeling really disconnected to either people, karmic partners. Feeling very indifferent towards things that they used to always feel comfortable with or used to be their go-to. And, you know, when you have that type of awakening happening and you just don't know how to make those connections anymore, everything's dropping out, it seems, you know, it's very disorienting. And the masculines are going through this disorienting time. And again, they're having the memories come up. They're having old wounds come up, emotions come up, things that, you know, they haven't been proud of, or memories with their parents, memories from childhood where they felt an abandonment, or they felt neglect, or they weren't validated, they weren't seen, they weren't heard, and how these types of things have impacted their self-worth and their value in relationships going forward. So they're having a lot of this cleanup time coming up. Feminine, you know, you're doing a lot of this work too. The masculines, for a lot of them, this is, you know, at this other level of, okay, I really need to pay attention to this now. Maybe they were trying to just push it away or deny it, and just really hold very, very steadily onto their ego or onto the, you know, the analytical brain and what seems sensible and reliable in life. But now I'm getting a real big shake-up here, as Archangel Michael is talking about this, that they're going to have to figure out some things, and the Jupiter retrograde, you know, that's there, is going to really help them to go into hermit mode. And that hermit mode during those crossroads times, it's invaluable. It really is. I want to say this to you, feminine. If you are not hearing from your masculine, if you are used to hearing from them, if you're not seeing anything posted, if all of a sudden things got really, really quiet, they seem like they went MIA, there is a very good transitional reason for it. They do need to figure things out for themselves. Their own true soul, truth of their soul, truth of their path is coming up now. That solstice light shining greatly on the truth. They're discovering that they have these abilities. They have these gifts, spiritual gifts, healing gifts, creative gifts. Things that they're not sure how to wrap their head around. If you're a masculine, you know what I'm talking about. What do I do with this? I feel like somehow I'm tapping into other realities or tapping into gifts that I'm not exactly 100% trusting yet. What does that mean? What does this all mean? It's a lot. It's overwhelming. So feminine, if you've been proactive on this journey for a while and wondering what's happening here with the counterpart in terms of stepping forward, my advice definitely is to just allow, be patient. I know you hear this a lot, but it's not about controlling the path. It's not about controlling the processes of not only yourself, but your beloved other. This path truly is about surrendering to the path, surrendering to the higher powers. So your masculine's going to really need to understand truth versus illusion, ego versus intuitive gut, intuition. The intuitive side, we're having the solstice is in Scorpio. The intuitive side, the Scorpio side, is strongly coming up. So they're going to be getting a lot of intuition, a lot of messages, a lot of signs, synchronicities, psychic dreams, visions, all of that they're going to be challenged here with being able to trust it versus going over to the ego side. But they need this. They need to learn how to decipher. They need to be able to go within and where, say, they have had coping mechanisms, drinking, drugs, or smoking, or video games, or a lot of women, buying things, trips, whatever the distractions have been. It's now that it's time for them to go within without those distractions. Spirit is talking very, very loudly. Their higher selves and their iron presence are speaking very loudly now. Their teams are ready and rearing to go to connect with them and to get them to understand the spiritual sides of things, where that has, for many of the divine masculine, been dormant. So this is a brand new world, scary, confusing, and with masculine energy, they're trying to figure out how in the world this is going to fit in to the lifestyle that they've known. And the answer to that is, well, things are going to have to change. Okay, so the landscape is going to change. And, there's concerns, there's worries about that, but one step at a time. We're going to be having a lot of masculines ending out of karmic contracts. The contracts ending because the karma has actually been balanced. For those feminine who have been worried about your counterpart, please, it's not worth worrying, and it's not helping. And the best thing that you could do is really pull your energies back, surrender and respect what they're learning about themselves, what they're discovering about themselves, and what they need to understand about necessary endings. So for some time, feminine had thought, oh my gosh, I don't think this is going to happen. My masculine has a wife and children, or they have this particular type of very negative pattern with relationship and it doesn't seem like it's ever going to change. What do I do? Do I just jump ship with this journey? Do I try to date and find a soulmate? Is this as good as it's going to get? Is it only based on telepathy? If I can urge feminine to really get out of the ego fear, this is what's going to help. I asked Michael about this. Michael said if the best thing that you could do is really stay, yes, very surrendered, but stay very strong in your self-love, in your self-acceptance, strong in your soul and in your truth, aligning with your soul's truth. If you're having some issues there where you're not feeling good enough, if you're having issues there where you're comparing yourself to other women or to their karmic, and thinking somehow, some way you are lower, you are beneath them, or you're just not good enough, then there's work to do in that area in order to really support yourself, of course, to be the love, but it's going to support the masculines here with their transition, because you want to be able to be in your sovereignty. This is where all that higher love is. This is where all that higher abundance is. Your masculines trying to figure these pieces out. And as you know, it's not as simple as just 1, 2, 3, where you get it and you're embracing your gifts and you're ready to leave your job and you're ready to leave a partner and get that divorce, get those papers signed. There's obligations there. There's financial things to work out. There's those types of challenges for the masculines to get strong enough to say, all right, I'm supported by a higher power. I'm supported and I know what's right for me and I know that there's change here and I'm going to take that leap of faith and really embrace this brand new world that I'm not used to. So, and this is not to say, oh, you're going to have to wait around, and please don't wait. Don't wait. Make sure you're living your life. Make sure that you are fulfilling yourself. But this is not to say it's going to take a zillion years. If you guys did plan on coming together and you are doing everything that you can to heal and clear blockages and align with your higher energy, then you're helping all of these merging processes every step of the way. What more could you do? You can't force. You can't push, right? You don't need to. It doesn't help. There are going to be some masculines that are going to be challenged with resistance, the natural tendency to resist what they're receiving or resist that it's time to make these major changes in their lives, whether it's leaving their jobs, expanding in these different areas, ending it with a karmic partner, whatever it's going to take, whatever that calling is, they're going to be faced, and some already are, with resistance to that, and that need to try to control, and the fact that they don't know what outcome it's going to be, they're not sure where this is going, it's going to drive them a little bit batty, for some very batty, depending on how they are individually. But not to worry, feminine, because when you have that soul calling, when you're here with that soul intention to ascend, then that path is going to open up, okay? And the more you deny that path, the more you're in that resistance, the louder spirit speaks, the more the signs come, the more these big tower moments happen. Like, if you're trying to hold on, just for instance, you're trying to hold on to a job that's no longer serving, but you're fearful that you're not going to make it, you're not going to have enough money, you're not going to be supported, you have to, stick with something that you're not happy with, that drains you every day, and that's the only option that you have. That's it. There's no other option. Well, after a while, depending on how this path really is orchestrated, it could be something like getting fired. It could be anything, right? For some people, they'll just be guided to just leave their jobs. For others, it will be more transitional. It really all depends. For some, it could be that their partner all of a sudden says, hey, I'm not relating to you anymore, I'm not resonating with you anymore, and although you're, one partner says, hey, I want to keep this together even though I know it's not working and I know it's not fulfilling me, the other partner goes, wait, you know what, I'm done with this. So there's so many different scenarios and how Spirit just gets us to really move along on the path. And what I'm trying to say, sometimes we can make it a little bit harder. Sometimes, we make it easier by surrendering to the flow. But still, for those who are feminine, there's no reason to worry. There's no reason to worry about this at all. As long as you are strong in your truth, you are reflecting that same thing over to your masculine, and they will constantly be presented with the truth, and they will have all of those reflections that will be coming. Their team is going to take them aside and really get them to sit with things. And they're going to have a lot of aha moments. They're going to have a lot of breakthroughs in consciousness. They're going to have a lot of interest in spiritual subjects and want to learn more and get answers. So, it's exciting for them. So feminine, leave that to them, because this is all necessary for them to be able to be in their higher alignment. Communication. Well, the communication will come soon from how I'm getting this from Archangel Michael, but right now it really is about hermit mode, taking the time out, the preparation, we'll say, and that is really, really crucial, to be honest. So make sure I didn't forget anything. The solstice will be ushering things forward, so think processes forward, where it really is going to push, the masculines into this new world where they're going to pay attention more. They're going to pay attention more to what they've been feeling for the divine feminine as well, and they're not going to be able to go back, is how I got it from Michael, to their 3D ways of, we'll say, the 3D lifestyle. They are really being ushered out of that 3D paradigm, and they are going to be feeling extreme passion towards the divine feminine. You're going to be feeling this too. Lots of passion energy coming through with midsummer, with the solstice. Passion in the form of sexual energy, passion in the form of I'm passionate about these things in my life, passionate about these causes, passionate about expressing to the world this message, passionate about wanting to do these things and wanting to be within a purpose that I truly love, but I'm not quite sure how to put it together yet. But all the insights coming in, and that connection with that purpose, or connection with the twin flame, is going to strengthen. Again, think truth, the light of truth. That's where they're being led. I hope that, this is really helping out to understand what's taking place here. And I know that this journey has so many ups and downs and back and forth and things like that. It's to know that the karmic times where there's been discord between the twin flames, it's now time for forgiveness, to really wipe that slate clean, for the scales of balance to happen. And the lessons that have been learned, the lessons of growth with the karmic partner are, they are so important. And it's really very, very important to give thanks. Give thanks for that karmic partner that was in your masculine's life, because they were able to reflect back to them so much that they really needed to see, and they really needed to weigh things out and really understand the difference between having this connection that feels like home and makes them feel things that they've never felt before, and then understanding that the karmic connection was based on really reflecting back their shadow self. And with the two there, it's really given them a chance to decipher and to awaken and evolve through that understanding. So everything has its place. It really, really does. I'm looking forward to this solstice. I know that it's going to be a very powerful one. That lion symbol of us being able to have more of our sovereignty, our truth of our sovereignty, and our strength come in. Passion, strength. It's really just taking us there. It really is. So let me know how you relate to this. I wish all of Divine Masculine so well with what they're going through right now. It takes bravery, I'll say. It takes bravery to look at all of these things and understand and be patient with oneself as you go through all these emotions and having this whole new world open up. And change is never easy. So feminine, have compassion for your masculine and know they're doing the best that they can. And, through every step of the way, we merge deeper and deeper. So, it's going to be pretty exciting. Stay open, feminine. I'll say this last. Stay open to miracles. Stay open to possibilities. Don't shut them down based on the past karma. Don't shut them down. That was all based off of old karma, the old karmic earth, where the twin flames are going. There's nothing but miracle consciousness. There's nothing but possibility. There's nothing but unconditional love. Don't go back to that place. And if you are finding that you're having trouble forgiving and you're constantly going back to those timelines, ask Michael to cut you free from those timelines. I have a great Archangel Michael light code 5321 light language to help bring more freedom to both you and your beloved. Thank you so much. Happy, powerful solstice. I'm here if you'd like to book a reading with me, a personal reading, no cards, straight channeling and mediumship. We get into so many details to help you to do your healing, to help you know your purpose, to help you know what's going on in your connection, help you move forward in many ways. You can go to theparanormalpriestess.com. I also offer personal light languages, and I am doing spirit extractions, remote spirit extractions. Check it out. Thank you. All that information will be left in the description below, including my social media. I love you guys, and remember, from the heart of the darkness is born the light. Take care, everyone. Brightest blessings, and I'll see you soon.